Yeah,
So
it all goes back to the creation story, but
mm,
like it can be whatever version of the creation story it is for whomever, right?
yeah,
Because yeah, there is no one way. I would say
yeah, I don't think so
you
either.
can't really just force that on anyone.
Yeah.
But for us, like this whole podcast is called the Muskrat Podcast,
Yes.
and it's because of yeah, the creation story. I think of fathers like muskrats. I think of that. I think of fathers like that. I got to keep hustling is almost like finding Nemo, and I got to keep swimming. It's
Yes.
like I have to get to the bottom of the ocean and grab the soil, grab the resources, grab the nutrients that my community up above, like the turtle and the turtle's back, all those animals up there that tried to go down to the bottom of the water there to grab those nutrients but didn't make it. The
Mm-hmm.
muskrat was like, nope, I gotta do it for them. I gotta do it for my community, my people. Grabs the resources, brings it back. And we have Turtle Island today.
Yeah.
And like I think of like that. I think of fathers like that. Like you gotta keep, that like you might not make it, but that you have to do it.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like it's one of those things. And like for myself, it's like like the muskrat, whether like the muskrat lived or died or whatever, that is the story that can always just be whatever.
Yeah.
We talk about these roles and responsibilities of things needed to be fulfilled. We have land claims, we have all these things that are going on. And even if you look at council and you look at all the things, like you look at the demographic of council, it's more women than men.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get men to step up?
I've been thinking about this for a while because it is an issue in our community. The men that are fathers, not stepping up, either physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or financially. Right there, I think it's a learned behavior. Someone made the connection the other day about the creation story again, that we've been raised without fathers for since creation, because Sky Woman raised her daughter without a father, and Sky Woman's daughter raised her two sons without a father. Right. Well, I guess she passed away. So the grandmother, that's how she became Mother Earth. But the grandmother, Sky Woman, again took care of the twins without a father. And the only way I can say it is to keep role modeling what we want to see. So the men like me and you, that are in our 30s, the 40s, right? We have to role model what a healthy man and a healthy father and a healthy husband look like to the teenagers and the 20-year-olds. Because like when we were teenagers and 20 years olds, there wasn't a lot of healthy male role models in the community, right? There a lot of lacrosse player role models, right? But that scene comes with the boozing, right? A lot of the drinking. So like even myself, like I drank, right? In my teenage years and 20 years, I made a fool of myself from time to time. And I'm thankful I quit drinking when I was 28. I'll be 32 in March. It'll be 4 years for me in January that I quit drinking. And like that's what I want to see. Like my father, he had issues with alcohol too from time to time, and I didn't want to have those issues with my kids. And I know that my grandfather had drinking issues and that had issues with my mother, right? Had trauma, and I didn't want to traumatize my kids, and so I quit drinking. Right, I didn't want my daughter would have been I'd have been 28. My daughter would have been seven turning 8 when I quit. And so I'm proud to say she's never seen me drunk, never seen me out of her. And so that's pretty cool. How we can get more young men, I guess, is just making it cool. Like making being a father and a husband cool. And I think that's the coolest thing there is. Like when I was a teenager, I thought, my cousins, they sold hard drugs in the community. I thought being a gangster, my brother, he was a thief and he stole cars. We had a lot of cars behind my homestead. And I thought that was the life, fast money, right? Stealing cars and drug dealing and all that good stuff. That's kind of what I was that's what my role models were doing, my older cousins and my brothers. And I thought that was cool. And now being in my 30s, I know the coolest thing is going to work every day and providing for your family and being a father and being a good husband. My father, he wasn't around a lot because he has 12 kids. So he had to ironwork a lot. Sometimes he'd be gone for 3 months, 6 months, sometimes almost a year. And I know he had issues with his first wife. And I think that's what caused my brother to live the life that he has. You know, my brother has 16 kids. I have 16 nieces and nephews just from him. And I love my brother, you know, and I do. And but again, I seen him. Comes down to being poor. I was poor, bro. I had no running water. I had no toilet, you know. Same for my brother, I imagine. Even though he had a different mom, we were poor growing up, and that's where it comes down to. Is, you know, when your back's against the wall, you will do anything to feed yourself, and I know that, you know, and but I know that it's not right. You know, it's against our ways. To the three major like kind of rules against like our ways is no murder, rape, and theft. That's the three big ones, and I know you're not supposed to steal. And like I said, I don't want to look down on anyone, but I think it's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior from their family. It's a survival tactic. I know that, but I do know there are some people just choosing the fast money over the hard work. It's hard work to commit to go to school every day, to learn a trade, to get your college or university. Like, that's a commitment and dedication. It's like it's kind of like that thing that they talk about nowadays about like instant gratification, like that fast money, instant gratification. Whereas when you have to work for something to get your education, you know, it's delayed gratification, right? It teaches that patience and stuff. So I don't know if that's what it is too, but survival at the end of the day, just getting by.
And you also touched on like another topic that is like really big within this community, which we both can touch on. We've had prior conversations about this alcoholism.
Yes.
So myself, like in 2020, and you know about this.
Yeah.
In 2021, I actually went to the hospital during COVID, not because of COVID, but because I had liver cirrhosis, liver failure, cirrhosis of the liver, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, like it was so crazy to be in the hospital around like everyone in there's like dying, right?
Yeah.
Because of COVID, because of other reasons or whatever. I was on the 7th floor. So like they basically say you're gone. Like the higher up you go, you're going closer to heaven, I guess, type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
At the Brantford General. That's where I was. So like I was on the 7th floor, and I remember thinking like so many different things of like, how did I get here? Who raised me? Who am I? Who do I want to be if I ever make it out of here? What would I even do? Because I'm going to have health issues. Still to this day, I have health issues. For the rest of my life, I'm going to have health issues. How long I'm going to live, I don't know. I've been given a number. So like but I live with that every day. When I was in the hospital, there was a lot of thoughts of just, who was I? Who do I want to be? And who can I be? Who can I be was the most coolest, important thing that I learned being sick. Being at the like my very bottom, because I was just like, I can be anybody. Like I still can. I just, quit drinking, becoming a better person, get help, mental health, like mental health I had mental health problems. Like I wasn't feeling great about myself. This community can do stuff to you. Like this community can make you feel like you're so small, because even though that we're the biggest reservation in Canada, we're so like we're in our own little silos. That like, like how you said that we can have all these like mental health support workers and units out there, but sometimes they don't even work together. Like they're not actually helping the community or different things like that. So one of the things that I was up there thinking about when I was sick was, yeah, like who was I? And then I remember getting out of the hospital, like a year and a half I was in there. And I remember just going on Facebook and asking for a ride one day because I couldn't drive. And I had to like kind of not relearn how to walk, but I had lost muscle in my legs. So I wasn't able to walk properly. Like I could walk, but it wasn't the regular thing. Everything still hurt. I lost over like 150 pounds, like so much. But I remember telling you my whole story, and because you couldn't pick me up that one day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And we went for a ride. It was like an hour and a half, about
Yeah.
2 hours or something
Yeah.
like that. We ended up sitting in front of my house, and I told you my whole story and what happened to me.
Yeah.
And then you told me the story that you told just now,
Yeah.
and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I remember that night. That was a good night. Catching up, having someone to finally talk to is what it was too. Another man. Like I said, when I have someone to talk to, it's my mom and my wife. And so yeah, another man. Even when I got my counselor, like it's rare for a man counselor. So when I got a counselor, it was a woman too. I did ask for an Indigenous one, and I got an Indigenous woman one. But yeah, when you actually have another guy to talk to, it's kind of like they understand more. You know, I know I got my lacrosse team, like Frog Pond Maulers and the boys I play with on Chicky and whatnot, and but I don't want to ever like, I don't know, share my problems with them type of thing. And I feel like that's probably how they feel too. You know what I mean? But I'm an open book now. Like I'm here to help best I can. You know, I've been through a couple things. I'll tell you what I did and what helped me. And again, using my traditional tools, using my Western tools, and developing the wellness plan, like I said. And yeah, more men do need to know it's okay to talk about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, you know, and I guess just get everything off your chest. You know, we want everyone to be well, like Peacemaker, you know, peace is the goal. We want peace in the homes, we want peace in your work, peace in your relationship. Peace is like the ultimate. Skana is just like, I just feel so peaceful right now, and my life where I'm at. And part of that setting boundaries too, you know, with certain people. Like, again, that comes down to like how we're going to get more men to do this. It's like we got to encourage men to work on themselves, you know. So like where I am at now is because I worked on myself, like exercising and going to the counselor and quitting drinking and everything. I've had an on and off battle with ciggies, you know, since I was like 17, 18. Quit for a year here and there, and not quite a year, 10 months, and then, you know, 3 months here. But that's my next battle I'm trying to deal with, my next goal. Quit smoking cigarettes. And I just want to be a healthy father. Again, like healthy grandfather. Like I'm looking that far ahead. I want to be able to, my grandfather was not active. One grandfather's passed away before I was born, and my dad, you know, he tries his best. He has a lot of grandkids, you know, but he does try to set time aside with my girls. And I want to be a healthy grandfather. I want to be playing hide and seek. I want to be playing tag. I want to be playing lacrosse and everything I can. I want to be smoke dancing with my grandkids at the powwows and the gatherings. And I want to be able to travel still. I want to take care of my body, and I want to be the fittest grandpa ever on Six Nations. You know, that's kind of what I want to be. That's where I have a loving heart now. Like I was angry with my losses. Like, you know, I was angry as a teenager. I would get in fights in elementary school and stuff. And I was angry again from being ashamed. I was part new credit. You know, I was ashamed. I was angry with my brother passing away and all that good stuff. And again, no one didn't know that. Like I was angry with being homeless. I was angry with being in trailer to trailer. I was angry with not having running water and no toilet. And no one didn't know that. Like no one at school knew that. You know what I mean? I kind of kept to myself. Like my close friends know, like Wayne and Warren. They've been with me since kindergarten. They know everything that happened in my life. They were with me when Aaron passed away. Wayne was actually the one that called me and told me. I just got done new yawing that day, and I was home just about to have dinner. And I got a call from Wayne and told me that Aaron had passed, and they've been through me with that in that traumatic event. But like you said, no one didn't know that about me. It's still like no one don't know that about me. Like I don't talk about it a lot now, but I talk with my clients about it, and it's called like a self-disclosure. I don't share everything. Like obviously this is like very intimate and personal. There's some friends that I will share different parts of my journey with that I think this might help them or this might help them. Like when I think people are going through a mental health problem, like don't be ashamed of it. Like St. Joe has extremely helped me, and it is scary at first, but it's good. It's good. You're getting help for yourself, right? And so whether that's depression, whether that's stress, whether that's bipolar, schizophrenia, anything, any type of mental health, go talk to your family doctor and use your traditional medicine. Like, our way, you go get your fortune done first. So find someone you trust that does that type of thing, and follow through with what they tell you to do. And that's what I did for myself. Took care of my traditional stuff, and that's what I suggest to all the men in the community.
That's interesting that you said that no one knew about like your upbringing and why you were so angry or why that you were the way that you were.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Because like even for myself, like my house was kind of like the go-to house in like Ashwegan. That's where I lived, and for like the most part, my mom was around. She worked hard, right? She was a single mother, so had to take care of me. So she's off working, doing whatever. And a lot of people would come over my house, and I'd have the whole house to myself.
Yeah.
The whole house, like right in Ashwegan. And my mom ended up moving out when I was very, very young, like 14 or something like that. And I just never told anyone. I literally never told anyone. People still came over my house, and I would just be like, yeah, my mom's upstairs. Never told anyone. Lived on my own. And I lived on my own, but I did have my aunt. But my aunt's like a couple of years older than me, so it's kind of like two kids raising each other, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like so some people would always just be like, oh, why is it? People probably thought I was like annoying, or like just wanted to keep talking, or like never wanted to go home, or like why is he always lingering or something like that. And it was probably because like I didn't have no one to go home to. I'm lingering because there's nothing going on at home, and there's no support, there's nothing. Or like, and I'm like trying to talk because I don't have anyone to talk to at home.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be here because I want attention, because there's no one at home giving me attention. So as like, even though the teachers, like, of course you don't open up to teachers, I wasn't opening up to counselors at that time. So yeah, like there was probably people being like, he's annoying, what's wrong with him, or something like that. But it was just like, people don't know what's going on at home.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like with the youth, like one thing could be going on at home and you think everything's all good because of Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, they got a nice house.
Yeah.
Or, oh yeah, like, oh, they got this for Christmas. I seen it on their Instagram. I seen it on their Snapchat.
Yeah.
But when that Instagram, that Snapchat, the Facebook is off, some of these kids' lives ain't the greatest.
Yeah, that came to my attention, like working in the group home. But when it really came to my attention too is when I was the school counselor at JC for a bit. There was a bullying incident, and they brought me into the classroom, and I set them up in a circle. We had a sharing circle, right? I talked to them about bullying and let them know that sometimes that people have things going on in their personal home lives that they're not sharing, right? And sometimes hurt people. And I gave all the children a chance to talk about what they wanted to talk about, anything they want to talk about, just like a debrief. And I didn't realize what kind of can of worms I was going to open. Like you said, this class was probably like grade 5, grade 6. And a lot of them were talking about their parents fighting, not having dad around, drinking, smoking, and they don't want their parents to die. And that really opened my eyes, the climate in our community, right, with that type of stuff. And again, on Instagram, Facebook, you think things are all good until you know they're not good. Yeah, I feel bad for everyone going through it. Again, reach out for help. like I said, I know the services are limited, right? I know the services weren't able to help me when my time of need, and I never want to talk bad about them. I know they're there to help, and that's kind of like part of my position too. Like when people come to me with their problems, I try to, if I can't help them, I try to direct them to the service that can help them. This is where, hey, I think this is where I think you can get help. This is where I got help before, right? And there's some new programs that they created in the community that weren't around when I went through this too. And so it's just knowing what's available too, I guess, in the community, what's out there, what can help, what won't help. And yeah, I think that's kind of everything. And I guess going back to the home thing, like circling back to that again is, yeah, no one didn't know. And again, as young men, we didn't want to talk about it with nobody. And it got us to where we were. And when I started my healing journey, like running, and when I had that mental breakdown, came back to loving myself. Like I'm doing things that I need to do, things that love myself. I had to cut some family out of my life, and that was hard for me. I still haven't talked to them, and it's almost going to be 4 years in January for some of them that I cut off. And it was hard setting that boundary, right? But knowing that this is what I need to do to, you know, make myself feel good, find my peace, and finding the love, like I guess the love, right? And I'm thankful that when I was starting to find my healing and know what I needed to do to make myself feel good, I finally went and seen my brother. I never ever went to my brother's grave, and I went and smoked a cigarette with him and talked to him and told him I know he's around and I'm sorry I wasn't at his funeral, and that I'm trying my best. And I told him that they say in our way is that if you commit suicide, that if you kill yourself and you're in that you don't get to go to the sky world. And I made a promise. I said that maybe if I live 2 good lives, if I live a really good life, the Creator will consider it 2 good lives, and I'll get to take my brother with me and get into the sky world. And so that's why I try to be a role model too to the kids. That's why I love playing lacrosse. I'm gonna play until I can't ever again. I'm gonna play until I can't breathe, until I pass. Same with dancing, right? I love being a smoke dancer. So that's why I try to live a good life. I try to be a good father, a good husband, a good friend, a good brother, a good son, a good grandson, a good nephew, a good friend. And I like I said, I hope that the Creator knows I tried my best to really put my all into this life I was given. And it'd be nice if He could take me and my brother together. You know, if that's true. I don't think it's true. I think the Creator kind of sees what you're going through in life. And if that did happen to you, that you would be able to get in, you know. Maybe we don't know, right? We really don't know. But that's why I try to, like, just be busy, like, just live a good life. Like, I try to, that's why deep down I hope that Creator sees that, oh, Joel did a lot of things and it's worthy of 2 lives. And then my brother gets to go too. So, you know,